Hey guys, we're back. And first off, you may have noticed we have an intro at the moment. It may be temporary. I may make it my outro at some point. Who knows? But right now it's just temporary until I can maybe get a better clip. But yeah, something a little better than just jumping right into the vids. And yeah, just touch that for a little bit. But today we're actually in the Tier 7, which is not a tier I play a lot of. With Swindle, we're in the Su-122-44, which this tank actually has a kind of special place for me. It used to be my favorite tank to play, probably about two and a half, 3 years ago. I used to play this a lot, mostly before I even got to playing light tanks, even before I got into the YouTube thing. This was kind of my go-to tank. I played it a lot, enjoyed it. And it kind of led to the first, I don't know the best wording for it, I don't want to say big break, but it's I got a lot of initial views because of this tank on a clip on the Beard Guys, like weekly clip things they did for a little bit. And it's funny, because the game I clutched like a 1v5 in the damn thing. And some ridiculous with like 1 hit point left, bouncing some crazy shots. It was just madness. If you haven't seen the clip, maybe we'll link it in below, but it's just craziness, and I still love it. But it was kind of my first major audience for, I guess you could say, a clip that I put out there, and from that it kind of stuck, or from then. And honestly, it's kind of cool. But I still kind of fell out of touch with this tank after a while. I got into the lights and just started playing them a lot, and kind of moved away from the tank destroyers to a certain extent. And it's not surprising. I think it's a progression a good amount of players will make. I'm not saying 2 light tanks, but a lot of players will start out with tank destroyers, maybe heavies, and then eventually as they play more games and get more comfortable, they will transition into medium tanks and maybe even possibly light tanks. And it's kind of the progression that I went with. Is I started with TDs, kind of went to heavies mixed in there as well, then transitioned into mediums a lot. And then eventually, about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, I got into playing some light tanks. And that was more for comp purposes, I think. And then I kind of just stuck with it. And just kind of found my niche. Not saying I'm not good in the other classes, but I enjoy the lights a lot now, obviously. You all know. So, yeah. But this tank kind of fell out of favor for me. And not because I didn't like it, it's just because I found other stuff to play. And something that always bothered me about this was I 2-marked this tank a while back and kind of just left it there. Now, putting it in perspective, in about a year I probably put about 600 games in this thing, a year and a half that I had it. And I played it on and off. I played it a few times since then, I'm not going to lie. So I felt like the kind of need to 3-mark it at some point a few weeks ago. So playing with Swindle, and kind of told him, yeah, I kind of wanted 3-mark it. Let's see if I can, just see if we do it. And him taking out his light tank, and I kind of play the role that I kind of struggle doing nowadays, and that is being super passive, sitting up here and just kind of sniping. It's not something I like to do. It's real boring kind of gameplay to me. I know it's not the most exciting to watch either, so I try to avoid posting a lot like that. Just for me personally, I don't find it interesting. I basically just sat on this hill the entire game and sniped. Not saying it's bad gameplay, it's what you should do in these type of tanks. In this kind of a matchup at the very least. Especially when you have a light tank on your platoon spotting for you. So you're very much going to be in that kind of support role. Especially in a tier 8 game like this. So, again, not the most exciting gameplay, but it's something I wanted to do. I kind of felt that I owed it to myself to 3-mark this tank. especially with all the, I don't say history, but all the games I have in it and all the just really good games I've had in it as well. Just overall, a tank I've always enjoyed. And yeah, it just felt like it was time to complete some unfinished business, basically. So we went for it, and spoilers, we're probably going to get at this game. I know it wasn't much about the gameplay. Again, I didn't want to talk about the gameplay because it's, yeah, well, you watch. It's not much. It's literally me sitting on a hill and sniping. And using a lot of some some healthy prime ammo. And some kind of unnecessary, but I had some rough games before this. Or not rough games, but just kind of average games, so I wanted to kind of make sure that there are these shots penned. I'm not going to try to justify it. It's whatever. I have 75 million silver. Doesn't matter. But yeah. Just overall, a fun tank. I like to revisit. I may go back and revisit some older tanks that have kind of fallen out of favor. And it'd be kind of interesting to see how I do in them now. This tank's something like the Jaegeru. I used to play that thing a lot when I first got it. It was my first tier 10, I believe. I sold it a while back to fund other, probably a medium tank or something like that. So, it'd be interesting just to see, now that I've gotten better at the game and just more understanding of the game, more experience in the game, how I would use those tanks, basically. So maybe look for that. I'm not promising any kind of gameplay, any kind of tank. But maybe look out for some tanks that you maybe haven't seen before, or yeah. But yeah, I said 3 marks. Very happy about that. Finally to get this to bed after having this tank in my garage forever and having it be my favorite tank before the LTTB beforehand. So just felt like posting this quick vid. A little different understanding, I guess. A little different topic, I guess, but yeah, 3 marks, just under 5,000 damage, and yeah, pretty good game to get it on. So hopefully I'll catch you next time, and until then, see ya.